What's going on, guys? Eric Allen, owner of Top Rated MMA. For this show, I got to talk to Shane Havoc Fichter, who's making his pro debut at Fusion Fight League September 7th up in Montana. He's got an awesome story of how he got into MMA. Check out the show to find out how that happened. Well, hey, dude, thank you so much for taking time out of your drive to jump on a call with me real quick. I appreciate it.
No worries, man.
Hey, so I was checking you out online, and it looks like you're making your pro debut in September, right, for Fusion Fight League?
Yes, I am. September 7th.
Come on, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
How's training going? Training going
Awesome.
good?
Awesome. We're actually headed down right now to the 2018 Jiu-Jitsu Summit in Oregon. Damian Maya, JT Torres, I think Rafael Mendez is all going to be there, teaching like a super seminar for the next 3 days. So
Awesome.
we'll be down there doing that. Yeah.
Very, very cool. Do you know who your opponent's going to be yet?
No, not quite. No.
No.
I think it might be somebody out of Canada.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I think they have a couple options that they're going to look into. So
Nice. And then, according to Tapology, you're the current 185-pound champion for Fusion Fight League. Is that correct?
yes,
Awesome.
yeah.
And it looked like you fight anywhere from 170 up to 205. Which weight do you want to sit at when you go pro?
170. So the 205 one was a little bit early in my career.
Yeah.
I actually only weighed in at that fight at like 198 pounds.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
I guess I was just kind of trying to prove a point. So
Sure. Oh, that's
got
awesome.
my tooth knocked out in that fight.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, this one this is a fake one. So
Okay. I would never tell. That's awesome.
yeah. Fought the whole third round with my tooth dangling around the back of my mouth. So.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
How'd you get the nickname Havoc?
I think it shows in my fights, just cause absolute havoc. I'm very like a bulldog kind of aggressive fighter.
Yeah.
If you look at my last fight is against Sawyer DeBee.
Yeah.
I actually sprinted across the cage to throw a flying knee and ended up choking him out in like a minute and a half. So that's pretty much how I roll. So.
Come on. Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. And I always love to ask this question, but how did you get into MMA, or what made you decide that you wanted to go get in the cage and start throwing punches at people?
So I wrestled in high school, and then out of high school, my buddy's dad was actually Special Forces in Navy, and he had like some experience with combat kind of stuff, training. Yeah. And we were all into, Pride and UFC. So he actually built like an octagon in the backyard there, like a little miniature one.
That's
so
awesome.
we worked some boxing and some jiu-jitsu out of there. Didn't really last very long. And then I don't know how much Ryan's told you, but I was in like a bad way after that for a long time. Just stupid things, bar fights.
Sure.
I had a pretty long drug addiction. I've been sober now for about 3.5 years.
Come on, man.
And,
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I was incarcerated for a little bit, and then and I fought throughout, being incarcerated and being stupid.
Sure.
But then out of incarceration, I started lifting and like doing some bodybuilding. Well, then I went to some fights, and I was like, that's what I wanted to do when I was younger, and I'm like, I'm going for it. So my addiction is definitely just reflected into my MMA. Like I train constantly. I fight full time now, fully sponsored.
Come on.
And I guess a way to explain my addictive personality and how I've kind of channeled my energy is I almost put myself into full rhabdomyolysis exertion because I was overtraining.
Oh,
and
wow.
it was just my addictive personality is so bad that I could turn something healthy into almost killing me. So
right. Jeez. That's awesome, man. Well, care if we do some rapid fire questions real quick on you?
Sure.
All right, man. Do you have a favorite fighter?
Yeah, right now TJ Dillashaw.
Okay.
TJ Dillashaw is one of my favorite fighters.
Yeah. He's awesome. Do you have a favorite type of music or band that you listen to?
Head PE. I love some old school Head PE.
Gosh, love that band.
You do, yeah. So I like metal and hip hop, and I listened to Head PE growing up. So and Deftones.
Okay. Man, I've seen Head PE and Deftones play at the Gorge back in Washington back in the 90s, man, and they were awesome.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, I actually saw. I caught Head PE at like the pub station up here, which is like a hole in the wall kind of.
Yeah,
it was awesome. It was way awesome.
I'd much rather see him at that venue than the 20,000 people at the Gorge, man.
Right,
that's a sweet show, dude.
Oh yeah, I got to talk to him and like talk to the guitar player. It was awesome. Okay. Yeah.
I noticed that you have an Advocare logo on your sponsorship. What's your favorite flavor of Spark?
I like the watermelon. The new watermelon's great. I love it.
Yeah. And you train. You work with Corey. What's his last name? Sittner.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's my conditioning coach. Will Gronhauser is my head coach.
Okay.
Out of Grindhouse. He's a black belt here. He just won a Fight to Win Pro down in Denver. And I believe he's planning on winning the ADCCs this year too. So
awesome. So we used to do Advocare like a long time ago, and I remember seeing Corey on the cover of Advocare's magazine way back.
Oh yeah,
way back when, dude. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's a big distributor. He's a huge distributor, and I don't know if you follow his daughter at all, but
yeah, it seems like she's growing crazy into like weightlifting, CrossFit and stuff, right?
Yep. Yeah, Queen Beezy. She's I guess. In those 18.2 workouts and stuff, she was ranked 60th in the nation, and she's only 12, and that was at the weights of 14-year-olds. So
wow, that's awesome.
She's hoping to gain as the first 16-year-old.
Wow, that's awesome, man. Last question I got for you is: do you have Stipe or DC winning?
Oh, Stipe. Yeah. I got Stipe.
Yeah, for sure.
I love Stipe. He's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to also give you an opportunity to give a shout out to coaches, teammates, sponsors, anybody like that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, see, I got a couple of them here. So, New West Construction is one of my big sponsors, and he's actually driving the car right here.
Hello.
He trains jiu-jitsu as well. He's Jim Colvin. He's one of my big sponsors. He's also my landlord, and I'm just real good friends with him.
Awesome.
And then I got a teammate, Eric Benson, back here too. We're all heading.
Hello.
And my coach, Will Gronhauser, was supposed to be coming with us, but he had some family, like a death in the family, so he had to stay back. But so I'd like to give a shout out to him. He's my mentor. He's changed my life. And then Corey, of course, he works me hard every single day. Corey Sittner. And then he trains me. I do conditioning over at Yellowstone CrossFit with him, and that's Jason Townsley. So give some shout outs to him. And then I guess I'll shout out to all my sponsors real quick. I got High Horse Saloon, Reed Clyburn, High Horse Saloon, Harvey Singh of Singh Contracting, Miles Ryan at Ryan Auto. We got N2 Cryo, Cindy Graff, Will and Mark at A Concrete. I'd like to shout out to them. Knuckles Up Biker Club, and I even sponsored by the Galloping Goose. Shout out to Matt the Painter and Kelly Stovall at Coy's Brothers. I have a wife, and I have a 2.5-year-old, and I actually have a baby that was just born. She's only 6 weeks old, my daughter.
Oh, congratulations, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah. And so when I wanted to, bring up my wife, because she's like my biggest supporter. She is the one that told me, if that's what you want to do, then go for it all the way. And she, picked up some more hours so that I would be able to train more. And we moved into like a small 1-bedroom apartment at the time with just me and my son. I have to give credit to her for all of this, because she believes in me every day and supports and sponsors me so much. So I can't say anything more about the community I live in. They've all helped me out. So my hope is to, get to this big show so I can start giving back to my community. So
awesome, man. Well, hey, it's been a pleasure to talk to you. I'm looking forward to seeing you get that win in September. Thank you so much for checking out the show today. I really appreciate it. Please like our videos, share our videos, subscribe to our channels, all the support. It helps us be able to support other people in Hire Heroes USA and also the fighter sponsorship program from Fightbook MMA. Thank you again. Have an awesome day.